Good morning, LiONS. My name is Rylan. I'm the founder of GRAPL. Fake news, deepfakes, counterfeiting, bots, and crypto scams are on the rise. Counterfeiting is a $1.7 trillion industry and is the largest criminal enterprise in the world. The world is developing a trust problem, and we believe at its root is digital authentication. GRAPL provides infrastructure to track and eliminate counterfeits, stamp out fraud, and strengthen the relationship between consumers and brands. In the crypto space, digital wallet security is a big problem. Take Hollywood star Seth Green, who recently had to buy back a Bored Ape NFT that was stolen from his wallet after clicking a suspicious link. Seth lost multiple high-value digital collectibles and had to pay upwards of $250,000 to buy them back. This is because there is no universal system in place for the recovery of digital goods. GRAPL sets a master key in your hands as a vault holder and provides you with 3 separate tiers of security, each tier increasing just how protected your digital collectibles can be. At Tier 1, as a master key holder, you can override an NFT's transfer function. At Tier 2, we attach guardians. These are your trusted friends with a spare key to your home. And at Tier 3, you can set a secret location as a password, on which we have a provisional patent. Unlike our competitors, GRAPL's security is on the specific token itself. This is important because NFTs are inherently transferable wallet to wallet. Yet, most of our core business activities are based on non-transferable relationships of trust. Remember Seth? Seth's NFT would have been protected by an additional layer of security with GRAPL that would have prevented it from being removed from his wallet without the specific signatures of his chosen guardians. And this changes everything. It's not hard to imagine a world where this extends beyond digital collectibles. Our early customers are choosing GRAPL to create applications like permissioning real estate, voting and diploma programs, and even preventing deepfakes with GRAPL ID. Like Stripe or PayPal, GRAPL makes its money by charging royalties relative to the cost per transaction on the minting of each item that uses our security. Our early team consists of talented Web3 developers and experienced business operators. And in June of 2022, GRAPL received US $150,000 from the Olive Branch LLC as pre-seed investment. Our early advisors include Scott Martin, founder of Doodles, Mike Katchen, CEO of Wealthsimple, and Dan Clark, Chief Growth Officer at Jam3. We scored highly on the Pillar of Business scorecard, and we continue to work with the Pillar of Business Lions to improve our business strategy. Fundraising from LiONS LAIR would be used to grow our team, as well as establish a creator fund to collaborate on projects that are using the GRAPL ecosystem as we go to market. So as more of our identities and high-value physical items are tokenized, we believe there will be a better need for authentication as a service. So my question for you this morning, LiONS, is what will you build with GRAPL? Thank you.
Thanks, Rylan, for your pitch today. That was great.
Yeah, thank you.
I wonder if you can tell me a little more, like it seems that there's a potential for super broad application of your technology. I'm wondering why you're choosing to start with NFTs.
Yeah, so the crypto space is riddled with this problem of trying to present itself as sort of a trust layer for the internet. However, it's got a lot of scams and fraudulent activity that exists currently in the space. There's a lot being made of the blockchain and secure ledgers as being something that can be used to create certificate programs, but until we solve the problem of creating a non-transferable version of these NFTs and these tokens, you can't really have that level of security. For example, if I was creating a diploma program and I received an NFT from Harvard right now, I could just send it to someone else's wallet and it would be like they went to Harvard. So until we solve this problem of transferability versus non-transferability and creating some systems to control that, that's where we've started with building that utility and that infrastructure to get to a place where we can develop broader services for authentication.
Thanks.
One question about the competition and how have you protected what you've done to stop competitors from following in your footsteps?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a USPTO patent on location-based technologies. These are technologies that we're using right now to essentially prove personhood. Once you've actually essentially created a system like I was just describing, you then run into the problem of having to sort of prove that the person who is signing for these things and controlling the transferability of these tokens is who they say they are. So we've gone kind of out of our way to develop some new applications. We're experimenting in the background with things like biometrics, a lot of really exciting new technologies, and trying to combine these things to provide as many tools in the kit for people who use our tech.
Can you walk me through your customer pitch? Like if you're selling this product to someone, how do you explain it so that they understand it quickly?
Yeah, so in the crypto space, it's really easy to understand. has been a problem that's been talked about by influencers like Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum. And right now, when we go to a lot of these brands and we talk to them just about what their security layer is, they kind of just go, well, it's just a blockchain. Like anything that does happen with a physical item, like a physical to digital item that potentially gets removed from somebody's wallet while it's vaulted, or these other sort of problems in the space, everyone in the space just kind of looks at it as, well, that's the risk you take. Live by the sword, die by the sword. This is what blockchain sort of is at the moment. And we don't think that that's a great answer. So, I mean, we like to go back to these companies and say, we have this utility. As simple as one line put into a smart contract within your project, you can now have this ability to have some control over how these items are transferred.
So your focus is on companies and organizations as opposed to individuals?
So we have two different versions of the vault. One is for individuals and one is actually for curators. So curators are like your creators within the blockchain space, and these are things like marketplaces. This is where we've had a lot of early success with our onboarding. With marketplaces in particular, they have a lot of users. So by being able to provide something like what GRAPL has to offer, they actually have a little bit of a competitive advantage and a leg up over other marketplaces that can't do the same.
So interesting. I have so many questions. Tell us a little bit more about just that piece of like why you? Why not? There's big players in the space, and so why you and how you see this entry point and how you're making that differentiated offer.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are some major players in the space. The reality is that in this space, there's a lot of tunnel vision. There's a lot being made of, again, this trust layer for the internet, but there's really, truly more work to be done before we get there. So we see a lot of gaps that, as a small company, an innovative company, that we're able to start to fill and create some pretty innovative solutions. Before we build anything, we like to put things through a specific filter at our company. We make sure that the specific applications that we're building are going to build trust, that they're going to be composable across multiple applications, that they're scalable, and also that they're as decentralized as possible. And through this filter, we're able to make some pretty important decisions about what we should be building next.
Would you be able to walk us through the path from where you are today to when you've got a commercially launched product?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we have a working demo with with a number of consumers. These people are right now building applications, like I mentioned, permissioning real estate, voting and diploma programs. There's a lot going on in the background with a number of customers that we're dealing with right now. This is basically like an alpha. This is very early stage. This sort of token locking technology is essentially our books to Amazon. Where we want to see this get to is a place where we can actually have universal ID, things where we can actually confirm, is one user actually truly one person on this planet? There's a huge, huge problem with just trust on the internet in general. And until we solve these problems, we can't really have this utopian metaverse that people keep talking about.
And just what's the not time to get to that full vision, but the time to go from like the alpha stage that you're at now to launching the product in a,
Like what is our roadmap, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we believe that we will be in market in 5 weeks, which is essentially for our closed beta. Right now we have a bunch of people who are registering for the demo. And these are essentially our early onboarders. We're very, very adamant about receiving feedback from those customers, making sure that we can tailor the product a little bit more to their needs. And by doing it this way, we're able to structure it so when we do go to market, we've already done things like audits. We've already checked in with these customers to make sure that it's performing the way that they like it to. And we'll be a little bit more ready for when we scale up.
Can you provide a little bit more detail on the revenue model, how you make money with the business?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the crypto community, there's a number of community projects. These are community projects that have, for example, 10,000 of one token. You've probably seen this with like the Bored Ape NFT that we had in our presentation, for example, in the broader social community. And the reality is that each one of these items, when a user purchases that item, there's a thing called a minting process. And essentially when you mint the NFT, there are things like gas fees and other fees attached to that NFT that are standard within the space. Generally speaking, a project owner or a curator of those NFTs won't be paying that fee. And we actually attach an additional fee onto that service. So that way when somebody purchases the NFT, they're receiving that vault for that cost. So just to give you an example, on a project, these projects tend to have about 10,000 NFTs per project. On a project that has 10,000 NFTs, our minting fee is relative to the cost of Ethereum gas prices at the moment that it's minted. And in this space, 10,000 NFTs at about $20 is what that would represent. So I mean, one community project that sells out, on an OpenSeas or another NFT marketplace is worth about $200,000 USD to us.
And then is there a model on top of that of individual subscribers? Is that where their own vault is protected, like in the example you gave in the pitch?
Yeah, so I mean, I might need some clarity on that question actually.
Well, I'm thinking about it akin to like a password keeper or anything else that an individual would use to secure the assets that they have.
I see. So that really starts to bridge into our next product, which is GRAPL ID.
Yeah.
So GRAPL ID actually essentially solves for strength of signature, right? So this is the proof of personhood. This is the ability to essentially say that one user is one person that is signing for these things. GRAPL ID is a free service to use through GRAPL. And essentially where we make money on the GRAPL ID side is more like an API. So as a user uses it to lock and unlock things, those are essentially small transactions that we are taking back from the core companies that are using it.
Okay, thank you.
So just one more question on the business model, and I apologize if I misunderstood.
Okay.
And so once the initial project has the GRAPL to protect it, does it protect then all future transactions and exchanges of that NFT? Like if I purchase the initial NFT and then sell it to Frank, is there any additional cost, or is it just that initial?
It's that initial cost plus the cost to lock and unlock each time you do it, similar to that API that I was mentioning. So essentially, right now, there's a ton of things to keep in mind. Like right now, NFTs exist within digital wallets. Yeah. So even if our security system didn't work, you would still have the wallet to fall back on. It's essentially like building a fortress within a fortress. And I think that it's something that a lot of consumers feel a bit of peace of mind with, just knowing that if something were to happen, there's an additional layer of security to fall back on. However, with this being said, users right now that use this product have a dashboard. They're able to go in and actually set their own sort of criterion for permissioning of their specific project. So it's not like every single project has to follow the exact same status quo formula for using GRAPL. We're really just infrastructure and providing them with a toolkit to get there if they want to take it, however far they want to take it, for example.
Thank you so much for your presentation. You found a really huge problem in today's society, and good luck trying to solve.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much.